peaceful touch shouts out, looking at different individuals, interviewing to know people in the field that are to health and wellness individuals that are wanting to take that next step on wellness, wanting to take that next step in their own journey through life. Today, I'm with Zoe Shaman, who will be speaking with us about how animals help wellness journey. Welcome.
Hello.
Awesome.
Hello.
Great to have you here. Great to have you here.
Yes,
Now,
thank you.
as I understand, awesome. And you have, you are able to bring a uh, dynamic placement, animals and humans as part of the wellness journey. Do I have that right?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. It's really about bringing awareness that animals can be completely healing for so many different kinds of ailments in the body. I mean, even going back to ancient Mexico, for instance, that the Mexican hairless dog and the Chihuahua were used to heat different parts of the body that people were having ailments with. It would warm those parts of the body to release pain and help them relieve the pain. Um, and even just the touch of touching an animal can really heal even just parts of the brain and help you relax.
So a chihuahua, I have a visual of a chihuahua in my mind. I think pet.
Yeah, sure.
There we go, right? So
Yes.
is the animals that you focus on domesticated pets, or on that, and that's just simple?
So it goes far beyond just a pet. I mean, you think about as a child, I think all of us had a favorite animal, whether it was, a snake or a horse, and horses can be wild, or a giraffe, and when you think about your favorite animal and you look at pictures or videos, it makes you smile, also releasing happiness into the brain and body and relaxation. So it doesn't have to be domesticated at all. This can be any kind of animal, wild or not, that can bring healing to people. It's really a fantastic way of healing. I feel anyway.
Awesome, awesome. So, what is an animal? I know we have the land animals,
Mm-hmm.
buffalo and everything like that. What about the sea creatures like dolphins and whatnot? What about the birds and whatnot? Are those considered an aspect of animals? Where is there a parameter, or all living creatures, or how does that work?
I don't think there is a parameter. I mean, I have met people that when you ask them what animal just really feels like your animal, they can say an octopus.
Mm,
I mean, people have
right?
written books about octopus, how incredible they are. They could say, a starfish. They could
Mhm.
say an eagle. Every animal, on this earth, sea, air, has a presence here and can be a way of thinking about that animal to help you, and looking into the personality of each one of these animals and feeling a kinship even. Who knows what the connection is, why this is our favorite animal or not. But it's incredible how that works.
Interesting. So, what got you started on this journey, or has this been a lifelong thing for you that has grown into, what you do with a passion, with a purpose?
I went to a very small kind of hippie private school as in grade school that was very nature based. It was in the woods. And,
Okay.
a lot of our games growing up had to do with we always had a pet, and a lot of the time that pet was a wolf or a bird. It wasn't actually there, but in our minds it was there. And we learned all about the different animals all over the world. It was a big part of the school. And I always had pets growing up, and I always felt better if I had my pet with me or, my pet in the game. And that just kind of started my love of animals, but it kind of grew into, as I grew up, became more apparent that I was really fascinated how different people connected to different animals, that it wasn't just, you know, a pet that they had at home, that, you see videos of people connecting with wild animals all the time. And
Sure.
some people love those wild animals, some people are scared of those wild animals. But it just kind of grew for me more and more that realizing that this is a way of healing. Um, and even in my own experience of losing a pet and then gaining a new one later, it's a totally different kind of breed of dog or cat. But how that connection when you lose a pet, or if an animal goes extinct, which our animals are going extinct, that
Hmm.
how there's a bit of pain there, that it's like we realize we don't want that animal to go extinct. We love that animal. We've maybe never even seen, a pink dolphin, from the Amazon, but we go, oh my gosh, I have to save this animal because we feel a kinship with it somehow, and it makes us feel happy to see it. So,
So, you're talking about losing a pet and then regaining another pet. Uh,
mm,
something that occurred to me is I'm a childless, but
mm,
I found that when I have pets, and I don't know if
mm.
it's true for people that have children, uh, I found that when I have some much like my children.
Yes. Absolutely. Oh yeah.
So,
No, it is.
so with your own journey, have you had an issue with wellness where a pet has helped you to recover?
Absolutely. Um, so um so I'm adopted,
Hmm.
and right there alone can cause a lot of battle in your brain of, you know, there's always kind of an odd separation anxiety that's just kind of
Hmm.
seems to be there in your mind. At least for me there was. Um and when a dog, for instance, in my case, loves you so unconditionally and doesn't want to leave your side, that makes me feel better.
Right.
And so growing up, I had a dog that was, I called her my sister,
Hmm.
and she was very much there for me all the time through so much. And she died when I was in high school, and it was devastating. Um, and then when I, as a 20-year-old, got a dog of my own, and it was kind of a similar thing. She kind of became my child, but she loved me and was always going to be right there. And I kind of, me personally, I need that, which makes so much sense with the emotional support animal movement, that people are needing a pet there to be there to kind of support them, and because they understand us better than anyone else, and they know
Sure.
when we're sad, and they know when we have anxiety, so it makes sense to have one there. So I personally need a dog all the time.
Hmm.
It
Sure.
just has to be. So
Is
yeah.
is your animal a dog? Because you refer to things. Is that
Yes,
your?
that's my animal of choice.
Now,
Yes.
does there's many different breeds of dogs? So
Yes.
does it does this get so specific that, well, you've got to have a Chihuahua or you've got to have a German Shepherd type thing? Does it
Um,
play?
I think that definitely comes into play. Um, I've done a lot of research over the years with different breeds of dogs, and my first dog that I got, I did no research. I just kind of went, okay, where can I get a puppy, and just went out and
Right,
got
right,
one,
sure,
and it was fine. It was great, but different dogs are good for different people. And I mean, if you're more active and you have a lot of property and you're ready to go on walks and jogs all the time, then you would get something like a border collie or an Australian shepherd, something that needs to run. And all dogs are very loving, but some are a little more clingy and cuddly. And so something like a Chihuahua, they need to be kind of right here. They want to be right here. So for someone who needs a constant companion who needs them just as much as they need you, it's a good fit. Um, so uh, so my dog that I got when I was 20, she died in October, and she was 16, so she lived a long time.
sure,
and
sure.
so and she was a mutt. She was wonderful. So for my next dog, I did go for a Chihuahua because I decided I needed something that was small and I could take with me everywhere, that would just want to be right here. And so that's what I have now.
Gotcha, gotcha. You mentioned like a protective companion. I know I have a family has a what was a service dog that
Mm, mm,
that really helped them within their particular uh, areas of need. And so
mm.
I definitely get that idea. And the other thing I would uh, suggest, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but don't animals also, you're talking earlier, your dog would always be there.
Hmm.
Um, humans aren't always there.
No.
It's a matter of acceptance. If there's anybody that is going to uh, not turn you down, not turn, it's going to be your animal.
Hmm.
And so
Exactly.
the acceptance part, talk about.
Um, the acceptance of just having that animal be there, or
Yeah, being accepted by your by,
yeah,
but
yeah, absolutely. Which, there's always the getting a puppy versus, rescuing a dog from a shelter. There's that. And will the dog accept you? And that comes in both getting a puppy from the beginning and getting one from the shelter. There has to be an acceptance on both sides. Is
interesting.
this going to be,
I hadn't thought of, there's an acceptance. The animal needs to feel accepted by the
yeah,
human goes to the animal for acceptance.
yeah,
I hadn't
absolutely. Um,
thought of that.
yeah. So it's something that when I went to pick up my puppy, um, when I went to pick up my Chihuahua, I just got her in April, at the end of April, and I had my daughter with me, and on the way there, my daughter and I were discussing, is she gonna like us? Because we we didn't know her, we didn't know her personality, we didn't know anything really, and is she gonna like us? Are we gonna like her? It's like meeting a new person. Is this gonna be the dog that we want to heal for us? And so we were really nervous going into it, and the lady brought her out and we picked her up and she was shaking like crazy and we're going, oh my gosh, does she like us? Are we going to be able to take this little baby home? And and by the time we got to the end of this woman's driveway, this little puppy had fully accepted my daughter and was kissing her all over her face and wagging and was like, okay, so we've all accepted her now. We think she's this is good. This is going both ways.
Wow.
So
there's a couple different directions I want to take with this, and that is back in 2017, I think it was.
okay.
I had a 16-year-old cat, and I'm going to make a long story short. I had to part with that cat, and that cat ended up going into an abusive situation where the mother and the child were hiding because the father had been abusive, and it broke my heart to let go of my cat. I'm more of a cat person, but it broke my
heart. There you go.
Yeah. But it broke my heart to do that. But watch how quickly my cat, little boy, knowing that my cat is going to be able to be an emotional support for this little boy that he had to go through. I would keep him in one way, but in a whole different way. It was like, all right, you're a missionary now. Farewell.
Yes.
Exactly. Even now, it brings emotion to me thinking of that. But at the same time, animals do matter.
They absolutely do. They absolutely do. And that's really what I'm trying to bring to light in the world today. I mean, as you said, you just got emotional thinking about it. It's like you were sad for having to give this cat to these people, but at the same time, look at the joy at the same time you're feeling that it's able to help someone else, that is in absolute need of that animal. These animals of all kinds, domesticated and not, are just so much more, as I've said, in tune with our emotions and healing. It's so necessary to protect them, domesticated or not. The animals are the most incredible beings on this planet.
Right.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Yes.
So let's go to a undomesticated animal in the form of a dream that I had last night.
Perfect.
That I was going to be talking to you about animals today and part on this journey. And I've never had a dream like this before. And then I looked, wow, what a match. Anyway, I don't know if you're going to take this, but all right. I had picked up an animal. It was a leopard. The leopard had become my pet. And the leopard and I was riding, we were heading somewhere, and the leopard was very, very loving to me, until as we're driving down the road, there's a leopard that is looking at our car moving and knows the leopard's in there. And the Black Panther starts to try and charge towards the car, and we speed. During the process, the leopard is getting a little bit more agitated in the car. I've always been a person who does not cage an animal while driving in the car. And so, the leopard's not, and all of a sudden my foot are getting more and more tight until he realizes that it's gone and whatnot. I don't know what you're going to make of that. Or does that communicate to you in any way?
Absolutely. So do you feel, so the leopard started to get agitated when it was it sensing the Black Panther,
It,
or
it,
was
saw,
just
it saw through the window. It saw the black
saw?
charging towards the car.
Okay. And but it started putting its claws on you.
Yeah,
The leopard did on your foot. Okay.
and not it wasn't in a pleasant way, but it wasn't in a hostile way either.
Okay.
You could
All
tell
right.
that the leopard had
It had fear. Okay. So,
panther was coming.
right. Okay. So, as we know, Black Panthers are essentially leopards.
Hmm.
They are the same cat. They're just different colors, technically.
Sure.
Um, so what I've heard, I mean, sometimes people have said that panthers are kind of the shadow of leopards. It's kind of like not good versus evil, but it's kind of the yin and the yang in a sense, right? They kind of balance each other out. And, the Black Panther could have represented kind of something you may have a fear about in your life that's maybe coming towards you. And it's not something scary, just something
Sure.
it might cause a little anxiety.
Hmm.
And that leopard is holding on, kind of going, I'm here, but be ready. I'm just letting you know that
Hmm.
I'm here. It's kind of protecting you in a sense, but
Hmm.
it's letting you know that it's something's coming. It's getting your attention. It's really trying to get your attention. Usually if we have an animal dream, that
Hmm.
animal is trying to get your attention, and all animals have a different meaning behind them in all kinds of shamanism or whatever. The Native Americans, they're all the animals had a meaning that they were trying to talk to you. So in this case, I mean, I think that that's what it would be, that something is that you might not be that excited about is coming,
Hmm.
but it's not that bad. But the leopard's kind of going, hey, I'm here. And as you say, you're a cat person.
I
So it
am.
makes sense that it was a cat, that's just kind of trying to get your attention, and it's holding on, and it's going to be okay, but it's getting your attention, letting you know there's something there, right?
Interesting. Interesting. Well, thank you for that. I didn't know where you would take. Thank you for that.
Okay.
So
Sure.
let me ask you this: um,
Mm.
who is it that is, if you could only one person in your entire life, if you would only think that
Oh,
there was one person that saw this video, who would you want that to be?
oh my gosh. One person?
I know.
Um, honestly, one. I think, um, well, he's a comedian, but he has just such a great voice right now for healing and nature and actually kind of religion in an odd sort of. But is Russell Brand?
Mhm.
He is an absolute gem in a voice right now that I think a lot of people need for healing in today's society. I think he's brilliant. Yeah, I think if I could work with anyone, it would be him, because I think he has a lot of great things to say to help people. He's really trying to help people heal right now, in so many different ways. And I think that, yeah, he's brilliant. I think if I could work with anyone, it would be him.
Okay.
And
So
he brings
excellent,
his dog into the videos.
awesome, excellent answer. Nick, you kind of looked at yourself as working with. I was going to think more of the clinic
More
side,
like
helping out. So maybe I should have said
helping
persona. Like,
persona.
yeah.
Oh,
So who is your ideal client? That's another way to put it. Or who do you hope?
who would I want to
Do
work
you want
with?
exactly? That's where I'm going.
That's where you're going. Okay. Oh goodness. I mean, I think for clientele, it's um I
Like,
want I just I think I think people that are dealing with, I mean, obviously, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a
Mhm.
therapist,
Sure.
but people that have dealt with, in my case, I had, a lot of issues because of my adoption and having that in my head. Um, I think that it would be nice to deal with and help, well, to help people that feel like they don't have a way to heal, that that they feel like there's really no hope, that but they can tell that they have a connection with animals, that would be, because everyone has some kind of a connection. I'd love to help people that want to understand more about how they can heal with animals and
Oh,
nature really in general.
good answer. Good answer. Um, well, I'm going to hold off on that question just a little bit. Well, let me ask you this: what were you hoping to be said in this call not been said?
Oh, I think you've really covered. I mean, everything that really did need to be said. I think this was phenomenal. Um, this was great, because I think that you asked a lot of really good questions, and it was really nice to be able to touch on these issues that are, I think, more and more people, it's becoming more and more of a of something that people are looking into. As I've said, the ESA animals, the emotional support animals, it's becoming a more and more prominent thing in our society that people are realizing needs to happen.
Sure.
So, um, so I think this was great.
So let me ask you a question then. You've spent 30 some minutes vacation before that. Uh, what is it that you're hoping? What is your message? Do you have a book? Do you have a course? What is your reason for wanting to invest time in this direction?
Um, I don't have a book yet. I guess just I'm really starting out this journey of having my voice heard, because I know that there are people that are trying to find other alternative ways of healing, and um and I find that super important. Um you know, one person's way of healing is not someone else's, and if I can get myself out there to help more people um to heal, in a more, sometimes they just need to start out the healing process in a more gentle way. And this may make sense to a lot of people, because a lot of people have pets
Mm-hmm.
and love animals. And so if
I,
I
I,
can,
I think it's awesome you've got your dog that just came up to you during this entire, with everything that we're talking about and whatnot. They're burning. Hey, she's talking about me. Um, so anyway, um, put you on hold for just a minute,
sure,
and then I'll be right back in, and we'll have a closing thought with you.
okay,
Or we'll let Chihuahua.
it is.
Well, maybe Chihuahua will outrank you, and will be the
Probably,
Chihuahua.
probably.
We'll be right back in just a minute. This is Graceful Touch. And as you can see today, we have been speaking with someone who is suggesting, passionate about animals in your wellness journey. I myself have seen the power and believe that it's true. Now, if you want to get your message out to the masses. Right now, my audience is about 30,000 and growing. Get your message out to the masses. Look me up on Instagram. Pain Relief, number 4, the letter U. Pain Relief, or if you happen to be in Rapid City, South Dakota, look for us as therapists, Graceful Touch, gracefultouchproducts.org. We are here to help, and this is one way that we're doing that. So let's bring Zoe back in to hear her closing thoughts. So here we are again. So if there was one takeaway that you would want, if somebody listens to this entire conversation, if there was one takeaway that you would want sure they understood or they connected with or they took away from this call, what would you want that to be?
I think it would be that, animals have just as much of a voice in this world as we do. And we need to protect them as much as they are protecting us. That is absolutely so important. They are so incredible. I mean, every single one of them has a purpose. Even if they're not our favorite, they have a purpose.
Right.
And I can't stress enough how healing and important animals are for our lives and this earth. That's really what it is.
Awesome. Animals are healing for our lives. Beautiful. And whatnot. I'm going to put you on hold for one more minute. Hang on there for a little bit as I end this.
Thank you.
All right. Well, come join us again tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, come join us again tomorrow as we have yet another conversation on health and wellness and you. Which is 3:00 Eastern. We look forward to helping you realize a better